وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم نحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا حبيب الله الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا حبيب الله. Brothers in Islam, ulama ikram, Kabir Shah Sahib, this is the 6th day of the celebration of Mawlid al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, as we come up to the arrival of the birth of Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But the 5th of Rabiul Awwal marks the day when Hazrat IMAAM HASSAN alayhi salam, he departed from this dunya. And one would say that I'm going to introduce, so I'm going to talk about a personality called Hassan, but this would be incorrect, because to introduce Hassan, one is to talk about Hazrat Imam Hassan alayhi salam, one is introducing himself, because it symbolizes that one is a Sunni and one is a lover of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and his family. And the reason for this is that it is only the Ahl Sunnati wal Jamaat who love and cherish Hazrat Imam Hassan alayhi salam. The rest of the personalities, the groups, that they say that we love the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, they pick and choose who they want to love and who they want to discuss and who they want to, whose personalities they want to expound upon. But Hazrat Imam Hassan, in a nutshell, talking about him shows that who you are, what your Aqidah is. He was a beacon of truth and an ambassador of peace, a beacon of peace. And as how beautifully Shah Sahib, he has put it, he has geologized and he has pinpointed the very points that Hazrat Imam Hassan alayhi salam, he sacrificed his own rights. The rights were his, but he surrendered them. How? That he surrendered the rights of Khilafah, and this was on the principle, one of the main principles of this was that nobody would blaspheme or curse his blessed father, who was Sayyidina Ali Karmallah Wajhul Kareem. And this was one of the main principles. If you read the contract, and as Muslims, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed, especially here now in this era, Allah has given us all the blessings. Like for example, we are quite comfortable here. We have good money, we have children, we have good health, good homes, books. We have all the ni'mah. We have all the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But despite of all these, if we can't speak the truth, then there is no point of this. And blessing is something that one person has and the other doesn't. For example, we have a brilliant eyesight, okay, and one person is born without eyes. So this is a ni'mah, this is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is one is given something and one is not, because this is the choice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But He has blessed us from every single dimension. You see, from the very first day when Hazrat Imam Hassan, he surrendered his rights, this was the first stone that he laid in this building of martyrdom of Hazrat Imam Hussain. The martyrdom started with him surrendering his rights and obligations to Hazrat Muawiyah, you see. And as he surrenders these, he goes to a place called Mosul, and he is given poison 3 times. So the project was after this that he should be assassinated. Although he's given up his rights, he's given up the Khilafah, but the Muslims still love and cherish this personality who is Hazrat Imam Hassan. So therefore, he should be assassinated, and every attempt was made to assassinate him. In one sitting, he was given poison 3 times. And Hazrat Imam Hassan, he was sick, so this couldn't take effect on him. And plus, he was from the lineage of Hazrat Fatima, Salamullah alayha, and Hazrat Mawla Kainat. So he was the blood was very strong. It couldn't overcome him. We have, in a nutshell, he goes back to Medina and he is poisoned again. We have, some of the archives tell us that there was a person that comes to him and he's shouting, and Hazrat Imam Hassan is sat in a group of people congregating, talking about the blessings of Hazrat Rasulullah, and he shouts from outside, he says, I would like to greet and meet and kiss the very grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu. Where is he? He shouts, and as he approaches him, he has a walking stick with him, and in the point of the walking stick there is poison, and he sticks this walking stick into his feet, and this was a form of assassination. Okay, he was trying to assassinate him, but there he, like Fuad Sahab has put it, he still exercised patience. He was an ambassador of peace. First, he surrendered his rights. This was a sign of peace. The second time, when he was assassinated, he takes an oath, and we all talk about Hazrat Abbas Alamdar, how mighty he was, you see, and how he tackled all the warriors and all the generals in the armies, and even in the Battle of Karbala, how brave he was. But you see, who was Abbas Alamdar? He was a student of Hazrat Imam Hassan. Hazrat Imam Hassan, he showed him the tactics of the sword. He showed him the tactics of the spears. He showed him the tactics of archery. So everything that Hazrat Abbas Alamdar was, it was because of Hazrat Imam Hassan. And our archives tell us that in the Battle of Safin, when Hazrat Imam Hassan, he enters the Battle of Safin, it doesn't matter who was the opposition, water was stopped for the family of Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This was not only in Karbala, but in Safin this happened as well, when they were not given the water. And Hazrat Imam Hussain, Hazrat Imam Hassan, he takes the sword, and history, in our books of history, they tell us, in a nutshell, I'm not going into too much detail, time is of the essence, that when he went for water, there were flocks and flocks and battalions upon battalions that he just marched through, and he piled up the bodies. He showed society that he was the son of Sayyidina Ali Karamallah Wajhul Kareem. The same thing that Sayyidina Ali Karamallah Wajhul Kareem did in Badr, Uhud, Handak, all of the battles. The same thing Hazrat Imam Hassan, he did in the Battle of Safin. And you see, and this was also bravery. This was bravery at its peaks. And then when Hazrat Imam Hassan, he was given poison for the last time, and then he takes an oath from Hazrat Abbas Alamdar, Hazrat Imam Hassan, and Hazrat Zainab. She should be talked about as well here, because she was very brave. As Hazrat Imam Hassan, insides were coming out, that poison had destroyed him from inside. She was sat right in front of him. This was the bravery of Hazrat Zainab Salamullah Alaiha. And then he takes an oath that if I think that this person is the one who poisoned me, I could be wrong. So I don't want you to fight with him. So he takes an oath from all of them, not to retaliate, not to fight. But when Hazrat Imam Hassan, he is martyred, he has been promised by Hazrat Aisha Salamullah Alaiha, she promised that he could be buried with Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And we as Sunnis, we love Hazrat Aisha. She was the wife of Hazrat Rasulullah. But some of the personalities, they curse and they say it's because of her that he was not buried. But brothers in Islam, this is not our belief. It was Marwan bin al-Hakam. He was the one that when Hazrat Zainab Salamullah Alaiha, she sent off Hazrat Imam Hassan, his body to be buried, and he was returned back. It was Marwan bin al-Hakam that even all of the scholars have cursed. And even Hazrat Aisha says that this is the Shajara Khabisa. This is the lineage that was the Qazzabs, and they were the cursed personalities. And his father Hakam, he was also cursed, and Marwan was cursed. These were the personalities who were the arch enemies of Islam. So they should be mentioned. And the reason why they should be mentioned is that society should know who was the lovers of the family of Rasulullah, and who was the ones that did everything in their powers to oppose the family of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I end with this point, and this was bravery as well, because even at that time he took an oath that Hazrat Abbas Alamdar, he could have retaliated. He did take out his sword, but he put it back into the sleeve, saying that I have given an oath to Hazrat Imam Hassan that we will not fight. So this is an ambassador of peace. In the first instance, he gave up his rights in his sulah. And then secondly, when he was martyred, he said that we should exercise the peace. And then at the end, when he was about to be buried, he still took an oath that nobody should fight. This is an ambassador of peace, and it is always the family of Hazrat Rasulullah who maintained stability, peace in the lands. Why? Because Islam, religion, Quran belong to the family of Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah rabbil alameen.
माशाल्लाह, ये थे अल्लामा इस्लाम कादरी साहब, बहुत खूबसूरत अंदाज में हाज़री लगा रहे थे आपके